Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to understand how this practice can help for us to develop our inner clarity. Especially when it comes to nowadays, we're living in an information world. So always we collect information from our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, 24/7. Each and every way we collecting. So we like living in an information ocean, and waves by waves sometimes take us away from the understanding. So what happened because of these informations, we slowly start to lose the attention and the awareness. And then we just repeat things. So then and out of that repetition, we also become kind of like a machine. So machines became part of us. And end of the day, what happens, we also became part of a machine. So this is not bad, but that is the reality. We have to understand it. But at the same time, we can't go like this, because we, end of the day, we have to come to some kind of development, success, or some kind of change within us. So even though so much information we have today, there's one thing that we can see: there's no change. No change means no change in the human life. The people, they just keep repeating the same thing. But then when we come to ourselves, we have a self-responsibility to bring the change to us. So then one of the important thing then, so the meditation is a kind of like develop the awareness, and another way we call this mindfulness. And what we need out of this practice. So one of the important thing is, when it comes to this, all the machines, what happened, now they have a filtering system. information filtering system. So much emails, so much messages, so much news. But what happened, it has ability to go through the filtering system. So when it go through the filtering system, it absorb all the information, but it send out only some valuable information. So then yourself, you have to develop this filtering system with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever the perception come from outside world. So we have to have a filtering system to filter this outside information. So you are the one who consciously need to take a decision to see what you need, what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want to smell, what you want to eat, what kind of people you want to associate, what kind of thoughts you need to keep carrying you. So all other unnecessary things you have to take out for the moment. Because with too much information, with too much people, with too much noise, with too much food, with too much taste, with too much interference, with too much smell, with too much things to see, that you can't come to a development. Maybe you will be busy. For the moment you feel joy, but that joy is not a very kind of like a sustainable, profitable joy. Because out of that busyness, what will happen, you just fast the time, and end of the day, you're not going to get anything. So we don't need to go into that. But we have to understand our life slowly start to go into that system. So only thing is that if you become aware, if you build up the mindfulness, so this mindfulness is a kind of a very strong, clear filtering system. So one filtering system is outside informations. And that for that, we know, we mention it's another way it's called the knowledge. To filter this all the outside things, to know the outside things, to understand the outside thing, we have to have knowledge. So that's why we need to know about the human life. Today what happened, another thing is, we know a lot of things, we know other planets, we know that the universe, but sometimes we don't know the human behavior. We don't know the human life. We don't know how this mind works, how this life works. And even sometimes people don't know that one day we're going to die. All the human being 100 years back, 200 years back, many thousand years backward, each and everybody gone. But still, for us, sometimes we're not going to accept that and understand we're also going to go. And we try to develop many things. Even just imagine, we're trying to become very successful with many fields. And nowadays we work with the, our new center, and while I'm, building that place, I always think, there are more bigger, better places than this, even in the history. And the people gone, that everybody gone, even that, the temples or the centers, so that everything also gone. We know that, we knowingly, but we have to contribute something for our next generation. But we have to know it's not going to be for us, or it's not going to be permanent, and we no need to hold it to that. And so the success, when it comes to economical success yourself, and you should know, so whatever the success that you gain, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to remember, there were many billionaires, so successful people used to be in the history, but that all gone. And even the tranquility state, even we attain to the samadhi and the high mental powers and the many dhyana, absorption, there were many rishis, there were many monks, there were many gurus, and now we just, just I talk to myself through this Zoom, but in the history, when we look, there were gurus, thousands of audience, they used to talk to them. They felt so good about the moment, but still, they all gone. We have to understand that. And ourselves, that whatever that the development of inside us, we have to know this. There were more better people than us, but that all gone. So when we look at this human history, it gives us a lesson to us. And that is one of the beautiful lessons that you can learn. So that will help you to get the best information out of the world and filter it and make it more profitable to yourself. So that is one thing. Another thing is this inside information. So that called the vision. So the knowledge from outside, and you have to have a vision from inside. So that the vision, to have a vision, you have to have some kind of wisdom to clarify, because your own mind, sometimes your own mind make you crazy. Sometimes your own mind, even though that outside information we need, and sometimes most of time ourselves, we live with our inside information. And if you don't have a very proper method to filter your own thoughts, it can make you crazy. It can take you to more dangerous place. And it can take you to more unprofitable lifestyle. It can take you to more difficulties, not the outside. So then you have to look into that. So what is the method then you use to filter your own thoughts? So how you develop the vision, how you clarify the vision. And that is where you need the mindfulness. Because when you become mindful, when you know what is happening in your mind, when you put the attention to your mind, you are capable to understand that thoughts is profitable or unprofitable. Is it connected to the reality of nature, or kind of like a illusion? So nothing wrong with anything, but the important thing, you just recognize, that's it. Because that recognition is the solution. Without recognizing, if you try to bring many solutions, it doesn't work. So when you deeply have this, now two systems, one is outside filtering system that called the knowledge, and now you develop the inside filtering system that called the vision or the wisdom. So both develop out of the mindfulness. So then when it comes to the mindfulness, you can take it to the more deeper level, higher level. So inside observation and the outside observation, and then inside, outside, both together observe. So it is not just the information. It is the, you go into the very, you inside into the reality of nature to recognize impermanence, unsatisfactory nature, and selflessness. So in the conventional life, you can filter profitable, unprofitable. And one should develop that background, one should develop that platform, the very next one, the very advanced level, very spiritual level of filtering system, recognizing the the reality, the reality of nature within anything. It doesn't matter the good or the bad or the right or the wrong or the black or the white or the up or the down or kind of like anything. So you don't categorize. Whatever information come, because now you develop a good filtering system, now your mind you don't have any cravingness to go with whatever you see, hear, smell, taste, associate, or think. So now you have some kind of structure in you. So in tranquility meditation, that is what happened. You build up a very good structure. And from there, you develop into the vipassana level. So in the vipassana level, that outside observation and the inside observation, this both come together, and inside, outside, you develop as one. How it can happen? So out of the mindfulness, outside observation, like observing a dead body and observing impermanence, looking at a flower, tree, river, cloud, so that kind of. Observing 4 elements: heat, motion, liquidity, hardness. So that is kind of like you develop the mindfulness, observing outside and filtering and recognizing the reality of nature. And then the observing inside. So deeply with foundation, the feeling, contemplate on the feelings, contemplate on the body, contemplate on the mind, and contemplate on the phenomena or the Dharma. So in that way, you deeply go into that and recognize form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition, that all happen in the moment related to causation, and then not permanent. So now it is inside recognition. And then you merge, that you bring this both together, like 4 elements. Outside 4 elements, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Inside 4 elements, you combine this together. You're looking at the dead body, and you observe it, and you recognize that what is happening to it. And at the same time, then you apply it to you, and you also will go through that nature. So then it's a kind of like what you see from outside, you are capable to apply to inside you. And you are capable to observe and recognize the very nature of the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness in your body, are observing out of the sensation or the body or the feelings. And then at the same time, looking at outside, you are capable to recognize it. So then you know you are not a separate entity from this outside world. You are the same part of the world, not a different. And that make you more kind of like a comfortable person. It's not going to make you disappointed, unhappy, sad, worry, fearful, because you recognize you are part of it. And then and at the same time you feel vulnerable and you feel more humble. And that is why you become more and more mindful again and again regarding the process that you go through. And finally, you have only the equanimity. So whatever comes to you are capable to accept it. And you are capable to be with it. There is no resistance. And that is how this internal, external, and both observation and through the attention, through the mindfulness, you develop. And in the very surface level, conventionally, you can go with the information to have a very successful conventional life, but we have to know that also not enough for us. Our purpose is bringing the real change out of our own deeper inner character, recognizing the reality of nature. So then you apply the same method to observe and be mindful about the outside and be mindful about the inside. And then you bring this both to be mindful inside, outside, both together. So bringing this inside, outside, both together is the very nature of the Vipassana. So once it comes to that level, you become kind of like objectless. There's no certain separate independent object to observe, because the entire process itself, no separation. Your entire process you recognize, but you are capable to whatever available, whatever the information or whatever the feelings or whatever the body, you are capable to go into the depth and understand impermanence, unsatisfactory nature, and selflessness. And even you are capable to see the deeper level of the thoughts and the bodily action, verbal action, and recognize the same nature. And that way you are not building up any kind of self-centered mind or self-centered experience. When it comes to that level, what happens? Your vision becomes more and more and more strong. Because when it comes to vision, end of the day, it cannot be self-centered. So once your vision get out of the self, that itself become the beginning of wisdom. So that is how the conventional life separate from the spiritual life, because most of the time conventional life, we have a vision always towards the self. Me, for me, my. I am. But now your vision is totally different. Now your vision is, because you are now see the internal, external connection, and now you take everything as a part of the universe. And then, so whatever you go through, you are capable to handle, you are capable to accept, you are capable to be with it. It's like after long time, after long journey, you come to your mother. You feel kind of like when you run to your mother and give a hug, you feel the safety, comfort, love, joy, satisfaction. So that kind of. You are keep coming for a very long journey through this universe. And your universe gave nourishment to you, to your each and every cell. And you are the production of this universe. You are part of this universe, but we don't see that. We always, when we become self-centered, it always make us very limited to see, experience things in a very narrow way. But now you become open and you start to bring that connection to yourself. And then you will see each and everything, especially when it comes to the 4 elements, that happens. When you start to recognize the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness within each and every cell, and then you connect it to the rhythm of the universe. And that is where you experience the rapture, the joy, the real deeper joy. It's not bound to any kind of material things or any kind of personal thing. So this is a kind of like you start to develop to be reunion. So mindfulness is a method that you become reunion with the reality of nature, the happening in you. So it is very necessary. So that's why the attention is important today, because that is the key. That's why I say now we come to a very attention economy, because attention going to become very expensive. It's all going to depend on your attention. If you don't have the attention, you can't go forward. And each and everywhere, people try to sell the attention, get the attention, use the attention, buy the attention. So your attention is very expensive now. And unknowingly or unknowingly, you know, a lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of apps, these machines, technology, everything, use it. And nothing wrong with that. You will enjoy it, but remember, and you can use it to be one of the most successful person in the world. It's kind of like, because attention is the one of the major spiritual currency that you can invest for your spiritual journey to attain to liberation. So then when you use the attention again and again, you have to look into you and see. Recognize yourself for what you have to put the attention. That is what mindfulness. You recognize whatever you see. If you want to put the attention, you put it. If it is not, you recognize this is not for me. Then you move forward. And another thing is, if you put the attention to something, or with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and whatever you eat, put the attention and see, is this, should I should eat this? If not, don't put attention on it. Then it will go away, because your attention will take you anywhere. And recognize it. Whatever, recognize your attention. Where your attention go, who buy your attention, who's stealing your attention, who take your attention, who sell your attention. You have to look into that. Because a lot of people, $1 million, they get out of your attention. You don't see that. You know? So that's why I say, you know, click the button, you know, click the button, you get the bell sound. Put the like, put the star, you know, follow us. What is that? Your attention, you know. And when people get views, like 1 million views, you know, and the very next day it becomes the news. And what does that mean? Millions attentions. It's become money now. So don't waste it. You can be so rich. You can be rich with your spiritual life. You became very poor in the samsaric journey. Look, you know, we don't know where we go, what happened to us, who we are. We don't know anything about this. We just keep, doing things. We don't know really who we are. We don't know what will happen to us tomorrow. We don't know where we go after we die. We are kind of like, in this samsara journey, we are like homeless. Why we homeless? Because we became poor. We became poor because we don't have this spiritual currency, because we lose all our attention. We put it to unnecessary things, small things. In the economy, I was listening recently to one lecture, and the small, the spending small things, we don't put that much attention. But end of the year, that make us poor. Poor people spend so much small amounts than the rich people. So like that ourselves, our attention, little attention, we put it to unnecessary things. So when you attain to enlightenment, what happens? Your attention, you put it only to very, whatever need. So then remember yourself. So you can become very rich with the spiritual life, and you can become a kind of like a hit the millionaire. That means liberation. So don't be homeless in the samsara journey, spiritual homelessness. No. You have to be rich. So how you can be rich? Bring the attention. So that's why recognize what to attend, where your attention go, recognize yourself. That is what the mindfulness. If the attention, once you put the attention, track the object and see, is it worth? What is this? Is it worth for me? If not, forget it. And then if it is, maybe suddenly your mind says, yeah, I need it. It is very important. Then what you need to do? Interpret that, importance, why it is that important. Question yourself, argue yourself. When you hear something, when you see something, smell, when you eat something, you argue with your attention. Why I have to do this? When you with people, whatever you think, interpreter, track it and interpret it. Bring that meaning to whatever your attention. And then at the same time, if it is good or bad, and look what is the response come out of your attention. And then recognize, is it, you have to keep continue it. So not, even though you watching a movie, watch a movie, then just by end of the movie, what you feel. You feel so tired, disappointed, unhappy, it's kind of like a mess in your head. It's kind of like, violence in your head. And then you have to understand, out of your attention, whatever the response you got, doesn't work. So then don't repeat it. So if you get the good response out of your attention, whatever you heard, whatever you saw, whatever you smell, and whatever you ate, and whoever the people you associate, and out of that, whatever the thoughts you had in your mind, out of that, you put the attention and see the response you got, if it is comfortable for you. That comfort doesn't mean you should remain the same now. That response should help you to change. That is how you keep doing things. That whatever the response you get out of your attention should help you, should fund, should take you to change you. If it is so, keep doing it. And that accept that feedback. And you go with it. So that's how you have to refine your attention, because that is one of the important thing now. So keep it in your mind, and that itself become your mindfulness. So there are the filtering system. So you have to develop a filtering system to conventional level with the outside informations and the inside. So inside means your thought pattern. And then once you have that platform, out of that, your mindfulness, your observation becomes sharper. So to build that, you need the knowledge, conventional level of that platform to develop that filtering system. And then we go to the next level, little bit more advanced level, more spiritual level. It we call the vision and the build up the wisdom. So through the mindfulness, you observe the outside things to recognize not just the details, recognize reality of nature. And then you use the inside to see the reality of nature. And then you combine inside, outside both together. And that will help you to connect it to the nature. You become part of the nature out of the developing the rapture, mindfulness, calmness, and gratitude. And finally, you come to have the equanimity. So to gain that process, you have to brush up, sharp, refine your attention. So in the beginning, recognize where your attention, track whatever the object. Is it profitable or unprofitable? And try to interpret your attention and what is the intention and what you're going to, and see the response out of your attention. If the response is good, accept it, keep going it. If the response, that means what you feel, is not profitable, don't keep doing it. So that profitable means not to remain the same or develop your comfort zone. So whatever out of your attention, that object should provide a feedback result for you to change who you are from this point to more higher level. So that's the process. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Suapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Naya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.